speak what I'm saying. I'm hitting him every day like a home train. I'm hitting him all the heat and he he gets caught real big, he's not quitting. If you cross it, my drop it. And if I'm to the court, telling his road, never get bored. Just let it go. One more thing from the floor, and I'm releasing it. Looking at the floor, shit, he be hard in the market. Really be cool, don't just started. And in this world they ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, infection. That's why for your life and reject.
It's hard to believe what's been happening in Los Angeles. Violent protesters, brutal attacks on cops. And all of it organized by moneyed interests. Radical strike, violent assault, calls for the National Guard to intervene. It's past time for strong measures to hold these terrorists to account, to arrest the ringleaders, to bring an end to the violence and looting. Wait, did I say Los Angeles? Actually, it was Washington, D.C. Just a few years ago. An attack instigated by Donald Trump, organized by his and supported by White House staff. Today, Trump is using the military to attack American citizens who are protesting his policies. He's called out the National Guard, promising to attack Los Angeles as though it were Fallujah. January 6th insurrectionists got pardons. LA protesters get bars. That's Donald Trump's America. Is it yours?
What's up, everybody? I'm doing things a little differently today. Going to be using, let me center myself here. Hold on. I got to make sure I'm in the right spot. No, there we go. Hey, what's up? So, yeah, we're going to do another live news recap. I'm going to use StreamYard today instead of Streamlabs just because it's a little more organized. So I have everything where I want it to be. We got a lot to cover today, as I am sure that you know. The Israel-Iran situation is not getting any better. If anything, it's getting worse because Donald Trump is now not even listening to his advisors. He is listening to Fox News. Yes, he's getting advice from Fox News on what we should do in Iran. I did see a report that there was an underground earthquake in Iran today. I hope that's not. What's the echo? What's with the echo? There's an echo. Oh, wonderful. Hold on a second. Let me mute that. There we go. How about that? Is that better? Sorry, I had my sound on for that. I had to mute that. There we go. That should be good. Okay. So, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. I don't know. I don't even know where to start. So first, I guess we'll start with what's on the title of the show. Donald Trump was exposed today for having what essentially is a Russian spy in his office who is making hiring and firing decisions. Yeah. So, let's get into that one. First, let me find it. There's a lot to discuss. So let me see if I have it pulled up. I have the video. Let me just play the video, make it easier for us all. So let me get this out of here and let me go ahead and play this.
News. Gore works for Trump vetting White House employees. Problem is Gore hasn't been vetted yet after 5 months. Director of White House Office of Presidential Personnel is suspected of being a Russian spy. Sergio Gor appears to actually be Sergei Gorachev from Saratov, Russia. Investigative journalist Brian Krebs discovered some damning information. Sergio Gor is known to have worked on the campaign of the conservative former Representative Steve King, and a search in domain tools finds Sergio Gor registered steveking.com way back when. Domain Tool says Gore used the email address sergio.gore@gmail.com, which was also used to register the vanity domain sergiogore.com.
We're not surprised.
Intelligence, a threat hunting platform that indexes breach data, finds this email address, used the rather unique and long password was redacted. Constella further finds that the password is almost exclusively tied to a bunch of email accounts for the same name, including sgorachev999 at rambler.ru, gorachev-sergey at Yandex.ru, Sergio-Gor at Yandex.ru,
It just keeps going.
Sergio-Gor at Quip.ru, Gorachev-Sergey at Ya.ru, and Gorachev-Sergey at List.ru, and Gorachev-Sergey at gmail.com. Constella also says Gorachev-Sergey at Yandex.ru has multiple entries in a Russian government database for a Sergey Anatolovich Gorachev.
Okay, so yeah, this guy is working next to Donald Trump. He's a Russian spy in the White House who's not been vetted. I see your comments. Like, none of us are actually surprised by this. It just kind of validates what we've been saying this whole time, that Agent Krasnov, aka Donald Trump, is a Russian asset. He's beholden to a couple. Well, he's in a bit of a pickle because he's very beholden to Israel. Very. Ted Cruz, I'll play this song because me and Mike are going to talk about the whole Iran Israel situation on Sunday. That's what the whole episode's going to be about. I have a video of Ted Cruz where he basically tells a room full of people that if you don't stand with Israel, we don't stand with you. That's crazy. And the more I learn about Israel, the less happy I become about the situation, because the leaders of Israel believe some crazy ass shit. And I'm not talking about Judaism, okay? Because what the leaders of Israel represent Zionism, just like MAGA represents Christian nationalism, not Christianity. Same. Okay, somehow the Zionists have become like I hate to say it, but like the Nazis of Judaism. They have some extremely crazy beliefs. They believe they are the chosen people, chosen by God, and then anything they do is justified. It's absolutely insane. And the fact that America is just, how did we get to this situation? I mean, Israel's what, 70 years old, 80 years old? It didn't even exist before then. Like, how in such a short period of time, basically since World War II, yeah, they have completely got their slimy little tentacles all throughout our U.S. government, Democrats and Republicans alike. I wish I knew about this sooner. You know what I mean? This to me is new. I did not realize the true intentions of the leaders of Israel. And it's very important that we distinguish that Zionism and Judaism are not the same. Okay, just like MAGA Christians are not the same as Christians. Totally different. If anything, they should be in a group of their own. Just religious zealots, religious extremists, like, think Al Qaeda, but with crosses. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's what we're dealing with right now. Israel is just all up in there, man. All up in there. So let's get into some of the news. Again, not surprised. Just again, reaffirms everything we've been saying. Donald Trump is a Russian asset, has been since 1987. MAGA will, of course, deny it until their dying breath, but we all know the truth at this point. And I'm starting to think Israel, because Iran posted this shit. I'm sure they were just trolling. But if Israel really does have such a grip on the United States government, the chances they have the Epstein files, that's not far-fetched, y'all. If they wanted blackmail material on as many politicians as possible, it is not far-fetched to think that they have some of them, if not all of the Epstein files. I mean, think about it. How else could you control Donald Trump? Even from an American standpoint, how else could you control Donald Trump? Is by blackmailing him. If you have leverage over him, you can manipulate him very easily. I mean, we've all seen how easy it is to manipulate Donald Trump. All you got to do is compliment him, throw some money at him, tell him he's the greatest person in the world. And he's like, oh, I love you. It's like, man, these people are so pathetic. So give me a second here, because I'm not used to using StreamYard for my live news broadcast. So let me just go ahead and pull. What is the one thing I wanted to show you real quick? Oh, yeah. Okay. This is great. I think I forgot to load one. This is video file. Let me see here. This is KK Caroline talking about, I don't even know if I have it. They're basically blaming, oh, there it is right here. They're blaming Joe Biden. Here you go. They're blaming Joe Biden again for the war that's going on right now between Israel and Iran.
President Trump has said previously in regard to Russia, he's used this phrase about 2 weeks several times in terms of like, we expect like a 2-week deadline and then you give another 2-week deadline. How can we be sure that he's going to stick to this one on making a decision on Iran?
Well, in those deadlines, as you've seen in respect to Russia, Ukraine, might I add, these are two very different, complicated global conflicts, as you know, that the president inherited from our previous incompetent weakness of the previous administration. And the president has spent a tremendous amount of time and effort cleaning up these crises that were caused by the last administration's just complete dereliction of duty on the world stage and American weakness. Now we have American strength again. With respect to
Okay, so they're blaming Joe Biden again. Yeah, but I'm starting to worry about this woman. I mean, I'm not worried about her, but something's going on with her. If you look at pictures, it looks like she's been chewing her lips off. Like she has scabs all around, all over her lips. And I mean, she's 27. I have kids almost her age. She looks older than me. I'm sorry, I'm not being judgmental, but I mean, you know, lying and the stress of the job itself, I'm sure, is taking a toll on her, but we're watching her age in real time. But I just noticed this today. I don't know if you can really make it out in that picture, but she's got a big old bruise on her forehead, which looks like a big old lump. And then I have another picture of it where you can see it a little bit closer. And then I have a third picture where you can really see it. I mean, there it is. Oh, wait, no. Sorry, wrong picture. But I don't know what's going on with her. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how she sleeps at night, honestly. How do you lie like that? Just with zero effort. And then go home and tell your kids you love them and just, oh my God, these people are so gross. So completely gross. So, all right. Next story. This one pissed me off because this could have possibly really put Kamala Harris. I mean, we don't know because the last episode we did, if not, there was some irregularities in the 2024 election. We had the people from Smart Elections. We had the people from the Election Truth Alliance on the show recently. If you haven't checked that out, it's a very good, very informative episode. And we've actually decided to make it a regular series. Maybe once a month or so, we're going to have them on if they agree to it, to kind of keep us updated on what's going on with the cases. But that being said, had Kamala Harris or had Mark Cuban, according to this, I haven't verified this because this is only coming from right-wing news for the most part, allegedly asked Mark Cuban to be VP. Kamala Harris asked him, and he said no. You asshole. You complete. I'm sorry. You're an asshole. You should have said yes. I think having somebody like Mark Cuban, a billionaire who supposedly fights for the forces of good, in an election over the relatively unknown Tim Walz, who I love. I love Governor Tim Walz. I think he's an amazing a leader. But nobody knew who he was. No, there was no name recognition whatsoever. So, and again, most people in America vote based on popularity. It's a popularity contest, not a policy contest in America. That's why we have a game show host, a reality TV star as president right now. But had Mark Cuban been on the ticket as VP, which could have given him a direct line to be president in the future, this dumbass, if this is true, request that, if this is true, I'm actually pissed about this. This could have been the extra boost that the left needed, the Democrats needed to get over that hump, because Biden dropped out very late. Kamala Harris had very little time to run a campaign which she did a fantastic job. I don't really know what they could have done better, really. But not most people didn't know much about her. Most people didn't know anything about Tim Walz until he was announced as her VP choice. But everybody knows who Mark Cuban is. Again, American politics is a popularity contest. It has nothing to do with policy positions, obviously, or we wouldn't have Donald Trump as a president. This guy's absolutely useless. But Mark Cuban could have done good. Could have done good. But now, he was very outspoken before the election. I haven't really heard shit from him since. So I don't know. Maybe it was all a front. And now that, he's making money or whatever, the rest of us don't really matter anymore, I guess. So, these people are driving me absolutely crazy. Donald Trump is wasting more taxpayer money on investigating the 2020 election. Okay, losing 60 plus court cases was not enough. That Donald Trump is now calling for a special prosecutor to investigate Joe Biden's 2020 election victory, claiming it was a total fraud, even though he lost every single case. So more taxpayer money wasted. Because keep in mind, the first 2 years of Biden's presidency went pretty smooth for the most part because we had Democrats in control. But then when the last 2 years of Biden's presidency, we got absolutely nothing done because all the Republicans wanted to do was run bullshit investigations at the taxpayer expense. They didn't govern. They didn't pass any laws that helped the American people. All they did was investigate Joe Biden and try and get him impeached. And they failed every single time. 60 plus cases or 70 plus cases now at this point regarding the 2020 election being stolen. Every single one was thrown out because there was no merit to any of the cases. That's why this is different with the case that they're running for smart elections, because they actually have proof. That's why the case is moving forward and wasn't dismissed, because they have actual proof. Sorry, I'm not looking at the chat again. What did I do now? Bulwark interviewed Mark Cuban, and she did ask him, and he said no. Okay, so that's verified. Unbelievable. Yeah, Anna says, check out the Election Truth Alliance. The data is very convincing. It really is. And that all started as a result of a local election, I believe. It wasn't something that they were actively pursuing on a national level, but one of the local politicians pursued it, and they found enough data to support moving forward with the case. So we could see in the fall, I believe they said that discovery is happening now, but I believe it goes to trial in the fall. And we know how slow our justice system moves. So I need you on my Brina. Brina wants to be a guest on the channel. We're looking for guests. I mean, geez, I'm trying to figure out how to make you a damn moderator on YouTube. I don't even know if that's a thing. I've been trying to find it, but I have to look it up. I know how to do it on like Twitch and other platforms, but yeah, but moderators would be definitely helpful for sure. All right, so let's get into some of these headlines here. I found a video that was pretty disturbing. It's not a headline, but I guess a video that we can watch. These people are sick. Okay, these people are sick. This is an idea that they have to make a detention facility for migrants or criminals or whatever they want to call them, surrounded by, and this goes back to Donald Trump's idea about alligators and moats. I'm not kidding. If you guys don't believe me, look it up. Donald Trump wanted to put spikes on the top of his wall, electrify it, and they wanted to build a goddamn moat around the border wall and I'm serious, fill it with alligators and shit and snakes and stuff. That's real. Like, that's a real thing. I am not making that up. Well, anyway, here's another person suggesting the same thing. These people are gross. These people are absolutely sick.
State leaders to identify places for new
He calls it Alligator Alcatraz.
I think this is the best one. As I call it, Alligator Alcatraz. You don't need to invest that much in the perimeter. If people get out, there's not much waiting for them other than alligators and pythons.
Nice.
Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide.
Brina, I like it. Yeah, so Alligator Alcatraz, that's their idea. They want to, yeah. detain migrants and then make it so they can't escape. Because if they do, they'll get eaten by reptiles. What timeline are we in that people think this is okay? And MAGA would be like, yeah, alligators and moats. These people give me a headache. Like, it's just absolutely gross. I found this. Apparently, an Axios Ipsos poll came out, and Americans want to force presidents to share their health records. 3 out of 4 Americans, so that includes a lot of MAGAs, want health test requirements for presidents that would be released to the public. Okay. And no, Donald Trump's recent health records are not real. So that does not count. Okay. According to his latest physical, he has the health of a collegiate athlete. Come on. The guy eats nonstop McDonald's. And you want me to believe he's overweight? Obviously, he's completely out of shape because the only physical activity he does is golf. He actually considers golf physical activity. He doesn't even walk the course. He doesn't even drive the golf cart most of the time. He has one of his servants do it. So, yeah, that's literally the only physical activity. I mean, Donald Trump believes that a human body has so many heartbeats in their life. And then no matter what you like, if you exercise, it makes your heart beat faster. It means you'll die faster because you'll run out of heartbeats. We have a complete idiot running the country. Jesus. Yeah, Florida is the best way. Yeah. I like how Pamela spelled it. Floriduh. Legitimately Florida. It's so appropriate, right? Like, it's completely appropriate. All right, so Donald Trump is oh no, you know what? I want to talk about this real quick before I get into more politics. I actually wanted to do a show on this back when on the previous podcast I was on before Mike and I started our own thing. I saw this headline: I want you guys' opinion on it. UK Parliament votes for assisted dying, paving the way for historic law change. Used to be called assisted suicide, which is an inappropriate term. It's called end of life planning, and it is legal in a lot of countries, a lot of European countries. There are actually places in the United States where it is legal to plan your death. I think that's a great idea. I watched my father deteriorate from brain cancer, hooked up to all these machines. You know what I mean? I think it's almost inhumane that we just watch people suffer until their dying breath. Like, if you have terminal cancer and 6 months to live, would you rather suffer for those 6 months, or would you rather go out on your own terms peacefully? They actually make pods now, assisted death pods. I guess you guys sounds so bad when you say it like that. I should come up with a better term for that. But pods, where you can plan everything out that you want. You go in this pod, you say your goodbyes, your family's all around you, and you fall asleep peacefully and painlessly. And then you pass on. I don't see that as being a bad thing. As a matter of fact, I would like to do this. I would not, if I find out that I'm terminally ill, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to beat it. Well, some things you just can't beat. And most likely you're going to suffer. But if this were an option, I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Because the stigma, they call it suicide when you choose to end your own life, but it's natural causes when you just deteriorate into somebody that's pissing and shitting on yourself and stuck in a bed covered in bed sores. That's natural causes. But for some reason, planning your own death seems to be like this evil. Oh my God, you're going to go to hell. A lot of it's rooted in Christianity, in religion, because they think if you somehow don't suffer and die, then you don't go to heaven. But if you plan the end of your life and go out on your own terms, I'm not condoning suicide. Please don't get it twisted. I'm talking about like terminally ill. Doctor gives you so much time to live. There are no other options. There are no other treatments. They tell you you're going to suffer. You're going to be in a lot of pain, and it's going to be agonizing. Okay, that to me is not suicide. That is choosing to die without being in all the pain. Like, why do we have to put people through? Why do we have to put? It just seems so inhumane watching people just dissolve into it. Like, I don't want my last memory. Like, my last memory of my father is him hooked up to a bunch of machines that were keeping him alive. That is the last memory I have of my father. You know what I'm saying? That is a shitty last memory. And I'm sure a lot of people have the same last memory of a lot of their relatives, especially if you have anybody that's had cancer. By the time they die, they're not even they don't even look like the same person you remember. You know what I mean? They just look like a complete shell of their former selves. And I just don't see why we can't have end of life planning. I just think it makes sense. It is hard to watch. Anne's right. It is so hard to watch. Like, even just talking about it right now is getting me a little bit choked up because it's not a good memory. It's not a good memory. You know what I mean? I like to remember my dad for the guy, the man he was, not the shell of himself that was lying in that bed that day. And I don't know if my dad would have chosen that. You know what I'm saying? It's a personal choice that every family should be allowed to make. You know what I'm saying? If you're religious and you don't think this is okay, then okay, great. Don't do it. You suffer and die. But I don't see why this can't be an option. I just don't in civilized society. Yeah, but I get a lot of heat for talking about that sometimes. My mom and I talk about it a lot. She would do it. She would do it. She would do it. My own mother, if she had the option, if she knew she was going to die and she's going to be in a lot of pain, she would do it. So, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to talk about. All right. Anyway, moving on from Alligator Alcatraz and talking about death. I know it's a very uplifting topic. Let's move on to TikTok. Taco strikes again. I'm serious. We should call Putin Paco and then Trump Taco because they make threats, but then they rarely ever follow through with them. So here, Trump has signed an executive order saying he's extending deadline for TikTok again. Honestly, the first time TikTok, hold on, let me turn my fan up. Should have turned my air down before I started the damn show. The first time TikTok was about to get banned, or when it did get banned before Donald Trump took office, and TikTok's strategic move to make Donald Trump look like he saved TikTok, which we all know that's what it was about. Everybody was freaking out. This time, I didn't see hardly anybody make a video saying, "Oh my God, TikTok's getting banned. Follow me on my other platforms." Nobody did that. Everybody's like, "Whatever. We don't care anymore." And here we go again. Donald Trump chickened out on his own threat. He's been threatening to ban TikTok since he took office and has delayed it, I don't know what, 3-4 times now? Something like that. So it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So yesterday, President Donald Trump issued his order to postpone the deadline for completing TikTok's sale in the United States by 3 more months, allowing the app to keep operating while China negotiates. China's not negotiating with us. He just can't ban TikTok because he is so unpopular right now. I'm pretty sure TikTok would be the final nail in the coffin for him as far as his popularity goes. Because unfortunately, TikTok is now becoming more of a right-wing cesspool like Twitter. I can't even leave a random comment on a video without getting community guidelines violation. I mean, even the most random non-offensive stuff, I get community guidelines violations on TikTok. But I've seen the most racist comments ever on TikTok, and they seem to be perfectly fine. Yeah, but so TikTok is going to stick around. At this point, nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. Nobody cares except for the creators that focus 100% on TikTok. Like if you're a creator and that is your only platform, you're failing as a creator. If you're not on every single platform that's out there and you rely strictly on TikTok, but I mean TikTok does pay more, I guess, as far as creators go. It's a lot harder to build I've been trying to build an Instagram account forever. That shit takes forever. That takes forever. So yeah, TikTok's a little bit easier to grow. I guess it's a little bit easier to get monetized on. But they keep messing with it. Like this on again, off again stuff is just getting old. It's like everything Donald Trump does. It's a threat, and then he backs off. Another threat, and then he backs off. Eventually, we're just not going to listen to any of his threats. That's usually what happens. You know, they call it the boy who cried wolf for a reason. You cry wolf so many times, and there's no wolf. Eventually, nobody listens to your cries anymore. Yeah, they paid Dumpy. TikTok is bought and paid for anyway. You're absolutely right, Brina. Yeah, I mean, they helped him. They helped him because Biden said he wasn't going to enforce the ban, but out of nowhere, TikTok just shut everything down and then gave Donald Trump credit for bringing it back. I mean, we all saw that, right? But so if you guys are on TikTok, which it is one of my favorite apps, it is, because there's a lot of good independent reporting on there from a lot of different creators. And we can't rely on independent media anymore. So, or I'm sorry, corporate media. So we have to rely on independent media. And TikTok is a good source for people to share the stories and everything like that. It's just depending on what you share. If you say the wrong word or you put the wrong hashtag, your video gets suppressed. And it's basically a crapshoot. Like I'll make a video and put no effort into it whatsoever, and it'll go viral. And then I'll put a ton of effort into a video, and it'll get like 300 views. So I don't put any effort into any of my videos anymore that I post on TikTok because you just don't know which ones are going to catch on or not. So I just post the same videos. I just say what I want to say. I click auto cut in that my video editing tool that does automatic captions, and then I post it. Okay. I'm not going to sit there and do all the different effects and words and pictures and emojis and all that stuff and then get 300 views. No, not going to do it. I'll spend maybe a minute or two making a video, post it, and then forget about it. And then I'll check on it later on. Susan, you're late. Damn it. I have to put you on timeout. No, it's okay. Don't worry. I'm glad you're here. So, all right, moving on. I want to talk about, let me see if I have any other videos. Oh, let's talk about this video. I forgot to play it yesterday. This is the one with Tucker Carlson.
By the way, I don't know the population at all. No, I don't know the population. You don't know.
This is so good. I hate that. Like, again, what timeline are we in that we're like agreeing with Tucker Carlson? And Tucker Carlson is not a good person. He will never be a good person. But like, seriously, I almost hate that he's right. It sucks.
The population of the country you seek to topple?
I'm conflicted.
How many people living around? 92 million. Okay. Yeah. How could you not know that? I don't sit around memorizing population tables. Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government. Why is it relevant whether it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant? Because if you don't know anything about the country... I didn't say I don't know anything about the country. What's the ethnic mix of Iran? They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay, this is cute. It's not even... You don't know anything about Iran. So okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran. You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government. You're the one who claims anything about the country. No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the one who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad. You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump? Yes, I do. Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that... We're carrying out military strikes today. You said Israel was. Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them. Well, you're breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied the National Security Council.
Well, just let the cat out of the bag there, Mr. Cruz. Whoops. Yeah, and then I'll show you the video on Sunday when Mike and I talk about it of Ted Cruz telling an entire room of people that if you don't stand with Israel, we don't stand with you, which is insane to tell a group of Americans. Some reason they care more about Israel than they do us. Can we say that now? Our government cares more about the welfare of fucking Israel than they do us. A colonized nation that did not exist until right after World War II. Yeah, stolen land. I guess it's on par for American. We are colonizers after all. So yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They're defending Israel, and they're saying they're coming out and just basically telling the American people or showing them that we are nothing. Israel is everything. And yes, Yvonne, Israel is always the aggressor. Okay. Yeah, I made a video earlier because this resurfaced Aaron Parnas video came up again, I had to unfollow Aaron Parnas. But this resurfaced video came out that where he basically says, I'm pro Israel and I'm pro Palestinian. I'm just anti Hamas. And then he goes on to say that Hamas has been controlling, Palestine's been living under a terrorist. It's just Israeli propaganda talking points that he starts to spout. You cannot be pro Israel and pro Palestine. Okay? It's impossible. You cannot be pro Israel. And again, stop calling me anti-Semitic for saying I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with them murdering millions of people. The leader of Israel is a war criminal. He has an arrest warrant out for him for murdering millions of people. And I'm anti-Semitic for not being okay with it? Fuck off. Fuck all the way off. Okay? I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of it. But anyway, moving on to this, Steve Bannon, and they're all turning on Fox News. So if they really do turn on Fox News is cooked. Donald Trump's favorite channel, but all of MAGA, including Steve Bannon, is now calling for investigations of Fox hosts because they are advocating for the attack of Iran. They should call it faux news. Exactly. Exactly. Faux news. Because Donald Trump is no longer listening to his advisors. Donald Trump is no longer listening to the people that he appointed to office. And just to prove it, here's a reporter from Fox News saying, why do you think Iran has nuclear weapons? Your own director of national security said, or Homeland Security, Tulsi Gabbard, intelligence director, said that they don't have them. And she's wrong. So he's listening to Israel and Fox News over his own people.
What intelligence do you have that Iran is building a nuclear weapon? Your intelligence community has said they have no evidence that they are at this point.
Well, then my intelligence community is wrong. Who in the intelligence community said that?
Your director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard.
She's wrong.
Okay. So the woman that you appointed to run your intelligence community is wrong. Interesting. Interesting. That's crazy. So according to insiders, he is quite literally taking advice on what to do in Iran based on Fox News commentary, not intelligence advisors or his Russian asset or his Russian spy that he has right next to him the entire time. This dumbass, incompetent man baby who shits in a gold toilet and a diaper. Fox News is demanding war with Iran and Donald Trump is listening. That's crazy. That's crazy. So as Donald Trump weighs sending U.S. forces to help Israel bomb Iran and potentially plunge the nation into a new war, his decisions are being influenced by bellicose on-air content at Fox News. The favorite network of the president has put forth a parade of hosts, guests, and professional commentators with an effusively pro-war and pro-regime change message. According to an administration official and another close associate of the commander-in-chief, Trump's heavy consumption of Fox News content is increasing his appetite for direct military confrontation with Iran. This dumbass is trying to decide whether or not he wants to use, hear this, a tactical nuclear weapon on Iran right now. Okay, he feels that the 30,000-pound bunker buster bomb is not strong enough and is considering using a tactical nuclear weapon. I'm not making this up. This is 100% verifiable. Okay? That is what's happening right now. Donald Trump is actually, he will nuke somebody. I guarantee by the end of this year, somebody will be nuked. Can't guarantee it, but I'm predicting that by the end of this year, possibly by the end of this month, somebody will get nuked by Donald Trump or Israel. And it could even be on American soil. I'm not even putting, at this point, I'm not even convinced that Hamas was the ones that attacked Israel that day. I'm not. After all this, I'm sorry, I'll say it. I am not convinced that Hamas had anything to do with the attack on Israel, because Israel is known for doing something called false flag operations. For those of you who don't know, that's when your country attacks your own soil to get their people to rally behind the cause. So Donald Trump is losing support left and right. Benjamin Netanyahu, nobody is supporting him at this point. So how else would you get the American people? I mean, a lot of the Israeli people are already on board with all this shit. But how would you get the American people who do not want to go to war? You run a false flag operation on American soil. That's what you do. Okay, so I pinned this post to my Twitter profile because I called it 2-3 days ago. If there's a nuclear attack on American soil, Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu will be 100% who did it. Okay, so remember this episode, June 20th, 2025. If there's an American attack on American soil, because there should not be another attack on American soil. But we are so weak right now, and we have such a puppet as president that I would not put it past him. We have such a government beholden to the Israelis that I would not put it past them to attack his own country. I mean, look at what he's doing already. They don't care about human life. They don't care about civil rights. They don't care about any of that stuff. Cruelty, misery is the point. They're trying to subjugate us into submission. But unfortunately for Donald Trump, he obviously doesn't know the fight that Americans have in them. So, yeah. But again, Donald Trump, this is dangerous. We have a madman in the White House who is quite literally taking war advice from a propaganda network. They are not a news network. They are not, according to court documents, Fox News is an entertainment network. They're not a news network. They are registered as an entertainment company. So Donald Trump is taking basically the National Enquirer of news, and that's who Donald Trump is getting war advice from. Not as close as advisors or people that actually know what they're talking about, which at this point in the Trump administration is nobody. Fox News, who also have no idea what they're talking about. And will do. He just wants somebody to co-opt what he wants to do. Everybody's telling him Iran does not have nukes. Everybody that knows and has access to intelligence information is telling him Iran does not have nukes. But guess who is? Fox News is. And that fits his narrative. And that's exactly what MAGA does. They find the stories that fit their narrative. Okay, they don't change the way they think. They just go out and look for a story or somebody to co-opt their shit. And that's what Donald Trump is doing. Unfortunately, now, though, it's coming straight from a propaganda network who is being turned on by the rest of MAGA, to include Steve Bannon, because he wants them to be investigated for the warmongering that they're doing. Jeanette, thank you so much for the 50 Danish kroners. I appreciate it. Oh, that actually reminds me. Thank you so much, Jeanette. You're always on point here. If you guys want to donate to the channel, I do have a link tree in the bio. I have a link tree in the description of this video. We are trying to do something special. Also, I'm pretty sure there's going to be something massive going on for July 4th. I would like to go somewhere on location again, whether it's my state capital, Washington, D.C., or up to New York City where Mike is. Maybe me and Mike could do an on-location thing together. So I am trying to raise money. Again, you guys have been supporting this cause since day one, and I appreciate every single one of you. And if any of you guys are out there, confide in yourself to donate to help us out. The link tree is in there. The top link in the link tree is to GoFundMe. You can also find our merch and all of our social media information on there as well. We're also looking for sponsors and people to, get behind the show in more of a sponsorship capacity. I don't know how else to put it. So if anybody's out there that's watching the show, maybe wants to reach out to us, you can email us at the VOR podcast and gaming at gmail.com and hit us up. I really don't know what I'm doing as far as it goes when it comes to sponsors. I've never had a sponsor I had a sponsor, but that was when I was going to meetings. Different kind of sponsor though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyway, if you guys are able to donate, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. And you guys are the reason we keep going, and the reason we do on location stuff, and the reason I'm trying to put more and more effort into doing, shows 6-7 days a week. Is because you guys obviously like what we have to say. I know we give a little bit of a different spin on things, but I mean, I'm a smart ass by nature, and I'm extremely sarcastic, so it's almost hard for me not to make fun of these people. You know what I'm saying? Like it is as dumb as it is, it just makes it more dangerous, though. You know, yeah, the fact that it's so stupid does make it exponentially more dangerous. So yeah. So while Donald Trump is taking advice on what to do in Iran from Fox News, Europe is actually offering Iran a diplomatic solution to the war with Israel. So the British foreign minister, this is what we should be doing. And European leaders are meeting in Geneva on June 20th to seek a diplomatic solution to the Iran-Israel conflict. I wonder if Donald Trump's invited to that after leaving the G7 like a little bitch. The meeting follows escalating hostilities. Obviously, European powers and the E3 group urge Iran to return to negotiations while Iran demands Israel halt its attack before dialogues resume. I mean, that's, I think, I don't think Netanyahu would do it, but I think that's a pretty fair ask. Stop attacking us and then we'll talk. I don't think that's too far-fetched. Oh, and I was going to go up the Iranian news freaking Twitter page is insane. It's been blocked on Twitter. You can't even pull it up anymore. I don't think. I tried a couple times. Iranian news, daily Iranian news. Oh no, it's back up. It is back up. Sweet. They are trolls. Oh my God. It's actually kind of funny. They have a dark sense of humor. Oh my God. I'll see if I can find the one post from today. So again, Europe is doing what they're doing Donald Trump's job. Donald Trump is making the situation worse, while Europe is now slowly or quickly, now thanks to Donald Trump, becoming the leading representatives of the world when it comes to diplomacy and peace talks. We just look like a bunch of knuckle draggers over here compared to them at this point. Our leaders do, not us. Well, the Trump supporters, knuckle draggers, mouth breathers, all that. Next story. A court blocks Louisiana law requiring schools to post the 10 Commandments in classrooms. Thank God. Thank God. So, all right. So, yeah, we talked about this before, how red states want to put the 10 Commandments in their schools. They want to put the Bible in schools. They want to teach Bible study in public schools. Do I need help when Mike not around to read the chat? That would be good. That would be helpful. Yeah, because it's hard for me to keep a hold of the chat and do all the topics, especially when I start going on a rant. I don't typically look, I just go off because I get distracted real easy. I'm like a squirrel. What's that movie? Doug the dog squirrel. Like, that's me. If I don't continue a train of thought, my ADHD kicks in. And if I start going off and start reading something, I'll completely forget what I was talking about and just have to move on to the next topic. So, yeah, I know exactly. Thank you, Alan. That's what church is for. If you want to learn about religion, go to church. It's voluntary. You don't have to go. But again, the 10 Commandments, which I think Donald Trump has broken 9 out of 10 of them. If he drops a nuke on Iran, it'll be 10 out of 10. Thou shalt not commit murder. But yeah, the 10 Commandments, nor the Bible, makes kids smarter. And let's ask ChatGPT exactly. Or let's see. In what place does Louisiana? I didn't ask that right. I want to say Louisiana is like 48th out of 50. What place is Indiana in the United States as far as education numbers? Did I say Indiana? Sorry, I meant Louisiana. That's why I like ChatGPT. You can look up easy stuff or stuff you don't like Googling. You can just ask them. And it's going to take a minute. So I'm pretty sure they rank in the bottom 5 as far as education goes. So, yeah, the 10 Commandments of the Bible are not going to move you up in ranks as far as this goes. Maybe teach math and critical thinking skills and civics. Civics, teach them about how the government works so we don't, like, I used to learn about civics. It was boring as shit, but I learned about it growing up. I didn't remember any of it. But, I mean, I think we should teach more about how the government works and, why voting is important and the consequences of not voting. In class, some of these states want to teach that Donald Trump actually won the 2020 election. So I'm not even playing. Like, some of these fucking states are like, yeah, we want to change the whole story behind the 2020 election. Talk about how Donald Trump was persecuted. All this stuff. Like, yo, stop glazing, like gargling. No. Glazing Donald Trump. I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. What the heck video was this? I don't even remember this
correspondent video. Jackie Heinrich, fresh House briefing. Hi, Jackie.
Hey. Oh, all right. We'll remove that one. That's actually the video Fox News breaking to the American public that Donald Trump is considering using tactical nuclear weapons. But what did I want to show you? Oh, I wanted to show you guys. You guys remember the video I showed you yesterday? I'll play it again. The one where Donald Trump's talking about men and women's sports to the Juventus soccer team. Well, we have a reaction from one of the players, but let me go ahead. Oh, you know what, Yvonne? It's funny. They're okay in Oklahoma spending $60 on Trump Bibles each. But yeah, they don't want to buy textbooks for kids. Make that make sense.
Open borders, and he was never for, if you think, he was never for transgender for everybody or men playing in women's sports. He was never heard that. Have you ever had women? Could a woman make your team, fellas? Tell me. You think?
Look at their faces. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What do you think? Think a woman could make the team? General managers? What do you think?
Difficult.
Don't say it. Close.
We have very good women.
This is embarrassing, man. This is a pro soccer team, and they're there to visit the White House because they won the club championship, and Donald Trump is asking them about men and women's sports. It is insane. So there was a response from one of the players. This is great. And hopefully for him, he's out of the country, but Donald Trump reads this shit. I don't think that Trump is the right one for the job as president. I stand by these words. I believe he doesn't understand the responsibility he has for the entire country. I think he's ignorant. I don't support him a bit. I don't think he's a man to stand by his word. In my eyes, you call him racist. That's great. That's great. Finally, somebody says it. But no, that's actually one of the soccer players that was in the room at that time. So, yeah. Donald Trump continues to embarrass America. Let me delete these real quick. Oh, shit. Speaking of, going back to Iran. I'm sorry. I know I'm going back and forth here. And then we'll talk about Los Angeles a little bit. But going back to Iran real quick, there is something I wanted to show you guys that has me concerned. Apparently, and this is according to new reporting, this is breaking news. This happened just not that long ago. Israel will not let Americans in Israel leave. Netanyahu has American hostages, essentially. They're running around Israel, but he won't let them leave. He will not let them leave. And apparently this is starting to cause some tension. So sources tell us that a meeting yesterday between U.S. Ambassador Mike Huckabee and the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu devolved into a shouting match over Netanyahu's objections to U.S. plans to evacuate our citizens from Israel and the wider region. He is holding our people hostage, y'all. That's not an exaggeration. That is a fact. Netanyahu has American citizens in Israel that U.S. is trying to evacuate, and he is telling America to kiss his ass. They stay here at a war zone. So we have Americans in Israel right now that are trying to leave, and they can't, which is, to me, just crazy. To me, that's insane. But that's a real thing. So Keep supporting Israel, MAGA. Keep supporting them. See where it gets you. But after this, I mean, I'm sorry, but Israel's not our ally. They are not our ally. They're evil. Again, I'm talking about the government. I'm not talking about the Jewish community as a whole. Okay. Zionism is not Judaism. Again, I keep having to reiterate that because every time I get in trouble on social media for talking about this. Okay. But the leaders of Israel are pure evil. Again, religious nuts, just like MAGA. MAGA Christians are just religious extremists. And I hate that they call themselves conservatives when they're anything but conservative. They're as extreme as you could possibly get. ICE was recently kicked, moving on to LA. Sorry, another bad segue. But ICE was recently trying to get into Dodger Stadium, and the LAPD told them to kick rocks, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, though, an appeals court is letting, this is as of a couple hours ago, they're letting the National Guard troops be deployed in LA during the protests. Again, peaceful protests. They will turn violent if you keep pushing them. Okay? If you just let the American people exercise the constitutional right, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. But if you got armed troops causing all the violence, I mean, let's be honest, I've seen more videos of cops being violent and ICE being violent than I have of actual protesters being violent. Okay? So there is no reason for the National Guard to be in LA. Okay? There is no invasion. No foreign nation has invaded California or Los Angeles. This is just Donald Trump is pissed now because he saw, I think the final estimate was like 13.5 million people on the streets protesting against him on his birthday, which to him was supposed to be an amazing day because he's dreamed about that damn military parade for damn near a decade. He wanted that his first term. Now that he sees how unpopular he is, he's blaming it all on Democrats and blue cities. That's why he wants to send National Guard into specifically blue cities. Not blue states, but even just targeting specific cities within states. Okay? That's the this is why we protest, though. The more he does it, the more of an uprising there will be. And I'm saying July 4th, we need to put a exclamation point on the end of the sentence. Okay? Independence Day, literally the day we said we do not want a king. Literally the day we said we want our independence from the Kingdom of England. Okay? I see it a perfect and absolutely fitting opportunity to do another mass protest across the nation. So hopefully I will be somewhere. I'm already seeing rumblings online about it. I just haven't seen any official announcements yet. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, and then I'm going to decide where I'm going to go because I do want to live stream it again. Yeah. And I'm sure it'll be huge. I'm sure it'll be huge. I mean, if we could make Independence Day about, reclaiming our independence, I think it's appropriate. And this year is the perfect time to do it. Perfect time to do it. But for now, appeals court is letting Trump keep the National Guard in LA. But LA, that is kind of fighting back. I'm surprised LAPD did this, but LAPD, let me show you this here. ICE was trying to get into Dodger Stadium, and this was what they were met with. Cops and protesters. Oh, ICE is leaving. Oh, it's so sad. I mean, come on. You gotta like seeing that. Run away with your tail between your legs. Donald Trump's Gestapo. But the good news is they're out of money. They are out of money. That is why Donald Trump needs his big, beautiful bill passed. Because they are out of money. Yeah, they would give Donald Trump a blank check basically to fund his Gestapo if they pass that. He wants to put more money into ICE than he does his actual Golden Dome missile defense system. Like way more, 5 times more, I believe it was the number. It's absolutely insane. And that's what he wants to do. But as a result of all this ICE stuff, like it's hurting the American economy because, as you can see here, places like Texas, 100% of the workers, whether they're documented or not, are not showing up for work at this one farm. So in Donna, Texas, farmers in Texas Rio Grande Valley say they are feeling the effects of workers failing to show up because of the continued U.S. immigration and custom enforcement raids. Remember that Donald Trump for like 2 seconds was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't be raiding farms and hotels because they have hardworking people. Well, then the parade happened. And guess what Donald Trump did? He got pissed off. I was like, he doubled down and took back. So that's what's happening now. There's nobody to pick the crops. So he said things just started getting worse weeks ago. The last 3 weeks it started to slow, but the last week has been huge, obviously, because of what's going on in LA. They're just rounding people up. They want to deputize bounty hunters, but they may already have deputized bounty hunters to go after immigrants. These people have no training whatsoever in this kind of stuff. There's 0 people wanting to come out and be exposed. I mean, why would you want to go to work just to get arrested and thrown into a detention facility? No job is worth that. No amount of money is worth that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't take any amount of money. Well, I don't know. There's a certain amount of money I would do to risk my freedom, I guess. But you know what I'm saying? But I would not go to work on a farm in 100-degree heat for 12 to 14 hours a day just to be regarded as illegal and rounded up like cattle. And again, crossing the border illegally, I put that in air quotes because it's an imaginary line, on a map. Crossing it illegally in America is a civil offense, essentially a misdemeanor. It's not even a felony, and it's definitely not a felony warranting being put into a concentration camp, which is what we have in America. We have concentration camps. We have a large concentration of people in facilities that are not built to hold that many people. That's called a concentration camp. And most people are like, well, like MAGA will be like, well, they don't have like gas chambers and stuff. Like, what do you think the Nazis just came out on day one with gas chambers? No, they started rounding people up and put them in camps. And then they built the gas chambers because they couldn't afford to feed them all. That's why they did it. First, they put them in, they thought they were a threat to society. So they put them in concentration camps. And then when they figured out they couldn't deport them or do anything with them, they just killed them. Like, you think the Nazis were like concentration camp from day one? No, that shit was an evolution over a period of almost 2 decades. And if we don't stop this, that is what is going to happen in America. It is already happening. People are dying in these camps. They're not dying in gas chambers, but people are dying of malnutrition. People are dying of medical problems. There's one concentration camp they have here where like women, children, they haven't even had a change of clothes in 2 weeks or a shower or any kind of hygiene products. Imagine sitting in your same underwear for 2 weeks in what's probably an unair conditioned facility. So you're just sitting in your ball juices for 2 weeks. You know how funky you're going to be? That's disgusting, man. That's not how you treat people, whether they're here illegally or not. You can still treat them humanely. Like Joe Biden and Obama still has the record number for people deported, like way more than Donald Trump has at this point in his term. And I don't remember hearing too many stories about people being shackled to a plane like they're freaking cartel members and shipped to El Salvador. I don't remember any of that. Like, why can't we, if we're going to, we'll make first, if you want to fix immigration in this country, you have to fix the immigration system. Okay. And then there's nothing wrong with shipping people back to their country, but doing it in a nice way. You don't have to be an absolute Nazi about it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, if they're not here legally, fine. Okay, whatever. If you want to deport them, okay, but do it with some goddamn decency. Okay, but they're not even sending people to the countries they're from. Oh, also Mahmoud Khalil's out on bail. Yeah, finally the pro-Palestinian protester that was locked up for protesting, I believe, is out on bail now, or at least the judge has ordered that he be released on bail. So that's a good thing too. And in a story that nobody gives a shit about because he's basically just an NPC in this entire thing. For those of you who don't play video games, it's a non-playable character. JD Vance visits Los Angeles amid Trump's immigration raids. Okay, great. What's that going to do? It's like these guys, why didn't Joe Biden ever visit the border? What's he going to do at the border? Stare at it? Build the wall himself? Like, what is the point? This is just performative. So, all right. So Friday, today, JD Vance, or no, I'm sorry, what's today? Thursday, tomorrow. JD Vance plans to travel to LA to tour federal command centers, engage with military personnel and local leaders, and deliver a speech amid protest. Ooh, we're going to watch that speech because I'm sure it'll just be riveting. His visit follows. I'm sorry, to make sure I got my comments back up here. Sorry, guys. Yeah, no due process, no deportations without due process. Follow the Constitution. Thank you, Pamela. So that's why I need clippers, because I don't have time to sit down and go through all my videos, like an hour-long video, and try and find a 60-second or 90-second video. For those of you who know what clippers are, it's people like fans that just watch the show and they'll clip actual videos out like 60, 90 seconds, 2 minutes or whatever. Then they make a social media account that is just like the VOR podcast clips, you know what I mean? And then they'll make a social media account on like TikTok, and then they'll post the clips at that. And that's actually how a lot of streamers grow their audiences, by doing that. But I unfortunately just don't. I try to, but I just don't have the time to sit down. And there's AI stuff you can use, but then it never picks out the part you want, and it's just a giant mess. So, all right. So anyway, JD Vance, his visit follows President Trump's June's illegal federalization of the California National Guard and Marines. Again, this is so dumb. This is so dumb. Of course, Donald Trump is happy that he won this court case and that troops get to stay in LA. The troops don't want to be in LA, and the longer they're there, they're just treated like shit. They're just being treated like shit. They're sleeping on the floors. You know what I mean? They're being stacked all on top of one another. So, yeah, I want to see how long the military really gives a shit about taking orders from Donald Trump. I think Brina's onto something. Yeah, that's why everybody makes the stinky face when they're sitting behind Donald Trump, because he stinks. He smells. All right, last thing here I want to go over, and then we'll get out of here, guys, is let's look at Donald Trump's True Social feed. Always entertaining, always riveting, always full of a lot of made-up QAnon conspiracies. I don't know how you want to put it. 0 border crossings for the month. Okay. Let's go back 24 hours. Oh, God. Seriously, like, this is the shitty post. A picture of himself. Make America great again. I'm so tired of hearing this slogan. Make America great again. Make Israel great again. Make America healthy again. But this is what happens when, oh, God. Oh, he's at UFC fights. Or is this still the same one? Lowest inflation in 4 years. Not true. That has nothing to do with you. Oh, there we go. All right. Women for Trump. This is what he's reposting, guys. The golden age. Donald J. Trump, 45, 47, 48. So if you think he's going anywhere, he's not. if they can rig, I'm not going to say rig, but if they can manipulate the 2024 election, they can do it again, which is why I'm so dead set on finding out the truth and why we're involved with the Election Truth Alliance and Smart Elections. I want to know the truth. I want to know if I was right this whole time or if I'm crazy. But again, based on all the stuff that Donald Trump said during his campaign, I just have a feeling it. I mean, the whole we don't need you to come out and vote. We have enough votes. The whole thing with Elon Musk really knows those voting computers. What was the other one? If it wasn't for them rigging the election, I would have never have won. He said all three of those things. Donald Trump did. They're not exact quotes. They're not verbatim, but he said all three of those. Believe it or not, this is horrifying. The Senate is trying to rehash Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill. And there are some politicians who believe that there are not enough cuts to Medicaid and food stamps. If you can believe that, I mean, they want to completely eliminate Medicaid, but that's not enough. They want to go for more. Oh, here's another Women for Trump post. Trust the plan. Nothing can stop what is coming. I was the hunted, and now I'm the hunter. This is what the leader of America is posting. Barf. What's next? Blue collar wage growth. Sure, buddy. Lowest inflation in 4 years. Yep, sure. UFC. Great. Dana White. Wife beater. Racist piece of shit. Tax money wasted. Right here, going to UFC events and all this other stuff. Here he is posting clips from Fox News. Again, he gets almost all of his, this is all he watches. It's Fox News and Right Side Broadcasting Network and Twitter. This is something that apparently, I'm not going to play the video, but Donald Trump is not an isolationist, but I think some of the Republican isolationists are suddenly discovering that they are out of touch with the MAGA movement and Donald Trump. I have total confidence in Donald Trump. This is the guy who killed Soleimani. You think they act like he went over there and killed Soleimani himself. What? They're acting like Donald Trump put on a uniform, jumped out of a fucking airplane, and killed the leader, a terrorist leader. Why? Why do you guys lick the boots of this guy so bad? The only person that can come up with a creative solution over U.S. involvement in Israel and Iran conflict is Trump. This is why Trump thinks he's like the greatest thing on earth. He watches Fox News, and that's what they say all the time, nonstop. Make America great again. Eat a bag of dicks. Here he is bragging about being a dictator and having power over the military. Where we at? Oh my God. Now there's a Newsmax. Here's Newsmax. This is Donald Trump reposting this crazy ass shit. Internal FBI emails reveal Biden's DOJ's obsession with targeting Trump. It's not Biden. The Department of Justice is supposed to work independently, which they did up until now. FBI emails revealed to the Post exposed Biden's DOJ's obsession with piling on Trump charges. So he's posting a New York Post article, which is just, again, like the National Enquirer of news articles. 0 border crossings for the month for Trump. Why are you speaking about yourself in the third person? Sleepy Joe? Really? You fell asleep at your own birthday parade, you psycho? I don't want to hear the Sleepy Joe shit ever again. Crooked Joe Biden? Like, this is the guy with 34 felony counts. He wants Crooked Joe Biden. A man who lost the 2020 election by a landslide. Biden was grossly incompetent. And the 2020 election was a total fraud. Oh my God, do we have to fucking... Do we really have to relive this shit again? Do we really have to relive the 2020 election was stolen? Bro, you're in office. You're the fucking president of the United States right now. Why are we even talking about the 2020 election? Look at this. This guy is demented. Why? Who gives a shit? You're the president now. Okay? Maybe you weren't for 4 years, but you're literally the president right now, and you're still obsessed with Joe Biden in the 2020 election, even though you lost every fucking court case that you possibly tried. Yeah, this is a good question. Brina, I don't know. Marjorie Taylor Greene's obsessed with what's in a lot of people's pants. I'm starting to wonder what's in hers, to be honest with you. Sorry, that's inappropriate. Yeah. One big beautiful bill is a no-brainer on tax reform. No, it's not. It's just a way for the rich to get richer. No tax on tips. Oh, great. Yeah, that'll help me. I don't even make tips. Hey, man. This is peanuts. This is quite. We could have free health insurance. We could have universal income, universal daycare. We could have free lunch for kids in schools. But no tax on tips, and MAGA will cheer about it like it's the greatest thing they've ever heard. It's peanuts. It's pennies compared to what he's trying to give to his millionaire and billionaire buddies. He's selling off public land. Donald Trump thinks America belongs to him. He is selling off public land to the highest bidder. Okay, federal land that's supposed to be for the people. Protected land. He's deforesting our national parks, and he's selling public land to try and cover the tax cuts for his millionaire and billionaire buddies. That's real. That's really happening as we speak. So don't be surprised when all these foreign factories start popping up and destroy our water, destroy our air. It'll all be, you identify as an American. Oh my God, what the fuck is this? What did I just click on? Oh my God, this is the most homoerotic. Why are all of them super, like, I swear Donald Trump's gay. I swear Donald Trump's gay. I swear he is. I swear he is. The guy's obsessed with men's bodies. You know, one of these days I'm going to put a compilation video together of all the time Donald Trump is talking about men's bodies. What the fuck is this? This is on his way. This is on his feed. Patriotic clothing. What the fuck is this? Oh my God. I got to stop cursing, but Jesus, literally, Jesus. Jesus. No, seriously, like the alleged PDF file and Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, the guy who was found liable for actual rape, well, I guess technically sexual assault, is now posting, these are shirts with religious stuff on it. What? Oh my God, there's more. Oh my God. If you wear this, you're going straight to hell. Oh my God. What the? What is this? Who wears this? How much is this? Oh, all right, $25. That's actually, I was like $75. I'd be like, what? But even $25, you want a picture of Jesus Christ hanging from the cross and carrying the cross on your body. That's creepy. Let's see what else they got. I'm sorry, I clicked this by accident, but now I'm kind of captivated. No, that's not the one. But no, like, seriously, this is weird. Oh my God. You know what's crazy is MAGA so wants a civil war in the United States. They're perfectly fine going to war with Americans. But when it comes to being a foreign war, oh, that's bad. America first, blah, blah, blah. Apparently, America first means attacking your own country. Fucking traitors. Oh, here we go. Here's a good one for the 4th of July. You want to look like a firework instead of, oh, what the shit is that? What? Oh my God. This is like the worst clothing I have ever seen. What in the world? This is so dystopian. Yeah, here you go. You can get one with an aircraft carrier on it. Yeah, because nothing screams America like having a damn naval vessel and an American flag on your shirt. That's not weird at all. And then you have this. For Easter, you can look like a complete tool with, oh my God, I'm sorry. This is not even supposed to be part of the show, but I'm honestly so freaking captivated by this website now. Oh, they have new stuff. Oh, good. New stuff. Great. Oh, cool. How much of this possibly can you? Oh my God. Gee. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus, help us. Oh my God, bro. These people are lost. So lost. Look at this. The Presidential Department of Veterans Affairs with an eagle and a cross. And then, wait, what? What the hell are? Why am I kind of digging those? Why am I kind of digging these? These look comfortable. These look comfortable. I might have to order a pair. Just kidding. Just kidding. There's absolutely no way. Oh, but no, like legitimately, I don't know why. I feel like I would act like a samurai if I wore these pants. I would literally walk around pretending I'm a samurai wearing these pants. For real. All right. So, all right. Moving back. Go back. All right. Focus, Jeremy. Focus. Let's go back to the Donald Trump's True Social feed. Sorry, man. I'm actually glad I accidentally clicked on that. I'm actually really glad because that was weird. What? Oh, here he is throwing Tulsi Gabbard under the bus. I wonder how she feels about that. The actual Russian asset that we have running our intelligence community. Oh, now here you go. Here he goes attacking Jessica Tarloff, literally the only Fox News host with any actual integrity and the only one that speaks the truth. She's wasting her talent on that show. She needs to go somewhere else or do her own thing. Jessica Tarloff, if you hear me, please get the fuck away from Fox News because nobody's listening to you on there. Do you really think Fox's core demographic cares what you have to say? No. You need to be on a network or do your own thing where you can reach reasonable-minded people that will actually listen to what you have to say. And then you wouldn't have to worry about this shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like she goes on and speaks the truth and actual facts, which is rare for Fox News. And then Donald Trump proceeds to attack the shit out of her. Of course, that's a lie. And great poll numbers for Trump. This is also a lie. His approval numbers are underwater, and he has to try and contradict that and post this shit to make himself feel better. He knows, and of course, this is from Greg Kelly, who's just another bootlicker. You know what I mean? Who is this other one from? Oh, it's from the White House. Survey Insider Advantage. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Oh my God. Yeah. That's funny. The one poll I saw, like, it was like, I forget. The total ended up being 101%. Like the approve, disapprove, and undecided, it ended up being 101% on the one poll that Donald Trump. I understand there's a margin of error, but your margin of error is not supposed to exceed 100%. Oh, and then here you go. You can pre-order your copy of Selena Zito's book called Butler, The Untold Story of the Fake Assassination. The near assassination of Donald Trump and the fight for America's heartland. Does anybody believe at this point? Again, false flag operation. I said it before. This is it. This was Donald Trump's false flag operation. He was losing support. He was losing the election. The numbers proved it. Our own eyes saw how unpopular he was at the end. Our own eyes saw people leaving after the Venmo payments hit. Our eyes saw the Craigslist ads offering to pay people to go to your own birthday party. So I wouldn't put it past Donald Trump or maybe Israel to have maybe, I don't know, pretended people got shot. I'm not saying the shooting didn't happen. That happened. People died. But I don't even believe Donald Trump was shot at. I don't even think he was the target. I don't think he was the target at all. Call me a conspiracy theorist if you want, but this son of a bitch doesn't even have a scar. He didn't even have a bruise. The guy was wearing a maxi pad for 3 days and then switched to a Band-Aid from a gunshot wound. No bruising, no scar tissue, off cartilage. Okay, this is not flesh. This is cartilage. Hard. It would have blown a piece of his ear off. Even if it would have nicked it, he ended up with a paper cut. Watch the video when he puts his hand up at his ear. Watch it in slow motion. He has something in his hand. He has something in his hand and he drops it. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I'm not going to get too much into it because I don't want to sound like a crazy person. But I don't believe this was a real attempt on Donald Trump's life. I feel like this now, after we've seen everything that he's done, everything that's happening with Israel, all that stuff, I feel like this was Donald Trump's false flag operation because they immediately blamed it on us. Immediately blamed it on us. To this day, they're now trying to say Iran were the ones that set this up. Iran is the ones that tried to assassinate Donald Trump by hiring Trump supporters. And Trump supporters believe it. They believe it. Just remember how fast, we didn't even know what happened. We had just found out Trump got shot. And people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and other politicians are out there like, oh my God, the left is so violent. They didn't even know who the person was that shot Donald Trump yet. And they're immediately they try to blame us for everything before there's any evidence. So based on all this talk about false flag operations, I'm starting to think more and more that Butler, Pennsylvania was one of them. Okay? Because Israel's been in Donald Trump's corner since before he got elected. Russia's been in Donald Trump's corner since before he got elected. I don't know. Obviously, I can't prove it, but it doesn't seem too far-fetched anymore to me. Just saying. You know what I mean? So that's all I got for today, guys. Thank you so much. Dude, I think he set the kid up. I don't know. But I just don't believe that he was even the target at this point. I think it was a setup completely. And we still haven't seen the medical reports. Okay. We still have not seen the medical reports from the doctors that treated him from his gunshot wound. Why such a secret? Donald Trump brags about everything. He even brags about stuff he didn't even do. If Donald Trump truly was shot in the ear, he would have posted pictures on social media. Am I wrong? Donald Trump is such an egomaniac. Such an egomaniac. If he had truly been shot, they would have released the medical reports. He would have bragged about it. They would have blamed it on the left. And he would have posted pictures on Truth Social about it. They would have made t-shirts about Donald Trump's busted up ear. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't think it's too far-fetched to think that, yeah, it was a setup. Thanks, Yvonne. I try and do my best. This actually went longer than I thought it was, but that's all I got for today, guys. I'll be back on tomorrow, Friday and Saturday. Wait, what is today? Today is Friday. I got to get out of the house, y'all. My days are starting to run together. It's Friday. I'll be back on tomorrow to do another live news recap. Sorry about yesterday. I didn't realize this until after the show. We had a massive thunderstorm roll through here midstream. That's why I was buffering like I was. But I'll be back on mic, and we're going to do a deeper dive into the whole Iran-Israeli conflict. And hopefully nothing nuclear happens between now and then. But we'll bring it to you guys all as it happens. Thank you guys for watching. I've really been enjoying these news recaps. And again, if you guys want to support us, you can support our work We have a GoFundMe set up. It's in the link tree, which is in our bio. Top link to the link tree. Don't forget to check out our merch. We got the Derp State shirt. We got AWA, like my throwback to NWA. AWA means activism with attitude. And then we have our VOR podcast shirt. And you also social media, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, all of our links for that are in the link tree as well. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Don't be late. And have a good night. Love you guys.